Financial burdens often feel like a storm that won't pass, draining our energy, robbing us of peace, and clouding our faith. Money troubles don't just affect our wallets. They wear down our spirit, our relationships, and even our health. But throughout history, in moments of great darkness, there have been sparks of divine light miracles that remind us that no situation is beyond hope. One such guiding light was Padre Pio, the humble Capuchin friar from Italy, a man marked by extraordinary spiritual gifts. His life was filled with miracles, healings, and divine interventions witnessed by thousands. Today, we explore a lesser-known spiritual practice tied to his teachings, a simple act involving 3 sacred numbers written on your hand to realign yourself with divine abundance and begin dissolving financial struggles. This is not magic. It is a call to deeper faith, pure intention, and surrender to God's overflowing generosity. The secret of the 3 numbers. There's something powerful about actions done in faith. Writing 3 numbers on your palm may seem simple, almost childlike. But that simplicity is precisely where its power lies. The 3 numbers, 3, 7, and 8, carry profound spiritual significance. They represent God's completeness, perfection, renewal, and abundance. When written prayerfully, they serve as a reminder to your heart and spirit that heaven's resources are infinite and that you are never abandoned in your struggles. This is not about superstition or shortcuts to wealth. It's about partnering with the divine, aligning your heart with heaven's abundance. Padre Pio repeatedly taught that prayer must be drenched in faith to move mountains. Without faith, he said, even the most beautiful prayers are hollow. Similarly, this practice works not by the ink on your skin, but by the fire in your soul. Faith opens channels unseen by the eyes, clearing pathways for miracles to flow into your life. This simple act of writing the numbers becomes a visible testimony of your invisible trust in God's provision. Padre Pio once said, "The Lord will allow you to fall, to teach you to walk without crutches." In our financial struggles, often it's faith alone that becomes our crutch, until we find our legs strengthened by grace. Padre Pio's teachings and the power of numbers. Let's understand the divine meaning behind these 3 numbers. 3 represents the Holy Trinity, the perfect unity of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. It is a symbol of divine wholeness, protection, and love surrounding you. 7 represents spiritual perfection. 7 days of creation, 7 sacraments, 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit. It speaks of completeness, sanctification, and divine timing. 8 symbolizes new beginnings. Christ rose on the 8th day. It points to resurrection, infinite abundance, and a fresh start beyond the cycles of struggle. Together, 3, 7, 8 become a spiritual code, a prayer you wear on your skin, anchoring you to heavenly realities. Every time you look at your hand, you are reminded God is working, God is providing, God is not finished with you yet. Maria, a widowed mother of 3 from southern Italy, had lost hope. Debts mounted after her husband's death. Prayer became her last refuge. One day, she read about the 3-7-8 practice linked to Padre Pio's devotions. She hesitated. Could something so small change her desperate situation? Out of sheer surrender, she wrote the numbers on her palm, whispered a prayer through tears, and placed her trust in God. Within weeks, small blessings appeared. A friend gifted her groceries. A job opened up unexpectedly, and her children's school waived certain fees. No, millions didn't fall from the sky. But the crushing weight of despair lifted, replaced by peace, hope, and open doors she hadn't seen before. Today, Maria says, the biggest miracle was not in my bank account. It was in my heart, waking up to hope again. Spiritual protection and prayers, spiritual rituals are most powerful when wrapped in protection. Padre Pio taught that when we draw closer to blessings, darkness often tries harder to sow doubt and fear. To guard your spirit, pray daily. Jesus, I trust in you. Padre Pio, guide my steps. Holy Spirit, open the gates of provision. Seal my home, my heart, and my hands in your protection. Imagine golden light surrounding you, a shield against discouragement, fear, and negativity. Here's the clear guide to the practice. Write 378 on your dominant hand every morning. Before writing, breathe deeply and say a short prayer of surrender. Visualize blessings flowing into your life, not just money, but peace, favor, and opportunities. Reapply daily for at least 21 days with unwavering faith. Each day, renew your intention. Each day, imagine your life blooming under divine sunlight. Make this ritual part of your morning spiritual routine. Upon waking, thank God for the gift of a new day. Before work, write the numbers prayerfully. During the day, glance at your palm when stressed and silently say, God is working. At bedtime, wash your hands with gratitude, releasing all anxiety to the divine. The act will shift from doing a ritual to living in expectation of miracles. Real-life transformation, John's story. John, a father of 2 from New York, had been unemployed for over 6 months. Every application ended in rejection. Bills piled up. Fear tightened its grip. Skeptical but desperate, he started the 378 practice. He wrote the numbers faithfully each morning, said his prayer, and visualized finding the right job. 3 weeks later, he received not 1, but 2 job offers. One from an old college friend he hadn't spoken to in years. John reflects, it wasn't magic. It was the courage to hope again. And somehow the doors opened exactly when they needed to. Visualization and prayer techniques enhance the practice with visualization. See a golden river flowing from the throne of God into your life, filling your home, your wallet, your heart. Visualize not only receiving, but giving, helping family, donating to charities, blessing others. Feel the emotions of gratitude, security, and joy as if they're already real. Padre Pio taught that heartfelt emotions during prayer amplify your connection to heaven. Believe it before you see it. That is the formula of faith. Real-life transformation, Luisa's journey. Luisa, a young mother from Spain, faced the terror of eviction. Her bank account was nearly empty. In a midnight prayer session, trembling and tearful, she wrote 378 on her hand. The very next day, she received an unexpected financial blessing, an old insurance claim finally approved after months of silence. It was enough to secure housing and begin rebuilding. Today, Luisa says, I learned that poverty of spirit, when surrendered, invites the richness of heaven. Padre Pio's life overflowed with visible miracles, healing the sick, bilocating reading souls. Yet he insisted that the greatest miracle was trusting God in the silence, when answers seem absent. Writing 378 on your hand is not a magic trick. It is an act of surrender, a way of declaring, I am not abandoned, I am seen, I am provided for. It is about aligning your actions with your faith, planting seeds of hope, and trusting God for the harvest. Financial freedom begins not just with receiving more, but by living daily in the awareness that God is your true source. As Padre Pio often said, Pray, hope, and don't worry. Worry is useless. God is merciful and will hear your prayer. Today, dare to believe that you are being lifted out of scarcity into abundance, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and eternally. Write the numbers, whisper your prayer, release your fear, and prepare your hands and heart to receive. Your miracle is already unfolding.